Hello everyone, my name is Israt and I'll be conducting the webinar today. Because the time is 11:30 right now, we're just going to wait 5 minutes for more people to join in. Before we begin, just wanted to mention a few things. If you could kindly mention your name and which school you are from on the chat, it would really help us in addressing any issue you might have or log a ticket for you. All right, we'll begin shortly. Once again, hello everyone. We will shortly begin the webinar. We're just waiting for a few more people to join in. It's 11:33 right now. We'll begin at 11:35. Thanks. Okay, as we promised, we'll begin the webinar right now. It is 11:35. So before we begin, please introduce yourself on the chat, and whoever is joining later on, we will we will actually post this on the chat as well. So if you could kindly state your name and the school you are from, and if you have already done that, thank you so much. So my name is Israt, and I'm going to conduct the interview, and I have my colleague beside me, Brandon, who will answer your question on the chat. If there is a question that we cannot answer at the moment due to time concern, what we will do, we'll actually log a ticket for you and we'll reach out to you. Okay, so first of all, there are a couple of requirements if you are joining this webinar. First of all, make sure your iPad is enrolled on AirWatch, and make sure you are also an EMM administrator. If you're not sure if you're an EMM administrator, this step actually requires your principal to add you. If you actually look below the YouTube link, we have posted a couple of links along with what the link does for you. So at any point, if you have not enrolled your iPad and if you're not sure, we have a link posted where it relates to our MDM training site, and it shows you how to enroll your existing iPad as well as your new iPads. And we also have our previous webinar videos and other training resources. And we also have a link which shows how the principal can add you as an EMM administrator on LAS. So this webinar is recorded, and it will be available at the end of the webinar using the same YouTube link. So Bill, you were asking whether you can view it later on, and as Brandon said, yes. Once this webinar is done, you can use the same YouTube link to view it. There is a 10-second delay while you're watching this, so if I'm saying something or if it takes me a little time to answer your question on the chat, please know it's due to that 10-second delay. And feel free to ask any question in the chat. And if we cannot answer it at the moment, what we will do, we'll try to answer it at the end of the webinar, or we'll try to log a ticket for you. So on the YouTube channel, you'll notice on the gear, there's a gear on the right corner. If you click on that gear, it actually allows you to adjust the quality. So if you seeing that there is a delay or the pixel is broken down, you can actually adjust the quality according to your need. By default, it should be sitting at auto 480p. And you can adjust between 1080 or 720. So whatever actually fits your need, go ahead and adjust according to it. And also at the bottom of the video screen, there is a live button. So make sure that live button is red, because if it's not red, you are not actually looking at the livest version. So you might be looking at a bit preview of it. So you might want to click on that and make sure you have the up-to-date version of it. As I mentioned, the prerequisite, make sure you have AirWatch access granted by your principal and at least one device enrolled on AirWatch, and links are on the description of the video. So what are the objectives? So the reason we are actually having this AirWatch webinar is because we want the school to get familiarized with the AirWatch environment. It is the new system that TDSB purchased to manage our mobile devices. Right now, at this moment, we are enrolling our iPads on the MDM system, which is AirWatch, to better really manage the iPad. And we're going to also show you what are the key benefits of it. And we'll also demonstrate how you'll be using AirWatch in your school on a day-to-day basis. So what is AirWatch? AirWatch is actually a mobile device management system. It can often be referred as MDM or EMM. It actually essentially basically means the same thing. It's a web-based application where you sign in and you have access to all your iPad's data, along with you can manage them. Also, you can look at the details of your iPads. It's a centralized portal for configuring and managing your mobile devices. And what are the benefits? So previously on iPads, the main issue that people had was which Wi-Fi portal does it connect to? Now, once a device is actually on AirWatch, it connects to WLAN TDSB. It's only the first time when you wipe the device or it's out of box or a new iPad, only once you will have to connect to TDSB Wi-Fi, and you'll have to sign in using your TDSB employee number for username, and the password is your TDSB network password. It will not retain your credential. The moment you log in and the moment it installs the profile, it will switch automatically to WLAN TDSB. And it is if you're often if you're noticing that you're having issue with Wi-Fi, once the iPad is enrolled on AirWatch, keep in mind, make a habit of checking whether it's connected to WLAN TDSB. Secondly, the easy app installation process for multiple iPads. So you no longer have to go into App Store on each iPad to install an app. All your app will be listed on the AirWatch environment, and you can push out multiple apps to multiple iPads instantaneously from that environment. And it's remote wireless configuration. What it really means by remote wireless is that you don't have to have the iPads in front of you. You could be anywhere in the school and you could just push out those apps. As long as the iPad has wireless connection, it will get the app. Sometimes it does take a bit time to get the app, and the reason is because because of the wireless connection. And it removes the requirement for Apple ID. So if you had an issue with the Apple ID where someone changed it to a personal Apple ID, with AirWatch you will not have that problem anymore, because AirWatch really takes out the purpose of Apple ID, because AirWatch takes the precedence and manages the iPad. And it's a consistent experience between iPad. So your iPad 1 will look exactly same as your iPad 2. It has built-in security policy, which prevents students from adding or removing app and applying passcode and locking the device. So students, once the device is on AirWatch, student will not have access to the part where they can put a passcode, or the part where if you hold an app, you can remove it. That part is actually completely gone. AirWatch restricts those. And you have an inventory of your iPads. So when you enter the AirWatch environment, it will tell you how many iPads you have. So which is really good to have, right? I mean, rather than opening up the card and counting each iPad, you know how many you have. So who can log in? So principal are the AirWatch administrator by default. And if you want to be an AirWatch administrator, the principal is the only person who can grant you access. And the system they use to grant you access is called LAS, Local Administration System. The moment the principal adds you, it takes about 24 hours for that person to have access to the AirWatch console. If at any point if your principal have granted you an access and you're still not able to log in, contact us at the client service help desk and we will log a ticket for you. So today's demo will actually cover how the iPad looks and feels once it's on AirWatch. We'll help you navigate through the AirWatch console, and we will show you how you can organize your iPads better using smart groups, and we'll show you how to add, remove apps, and web clips on your iPads. So there are two main apps on the iPad that indicates it's on AirWatch. It's called Catalog app and Agent app. I'm going to switch to my iPad to show you how it looks the moment it's on AirWatch. Sorry, it takes a bit time to switch between the iPads and the screen. Okay, so now that I'm in here, you can see that my iPad has a blue background, and the reason it has a blue background, it indicates it's on AirWatch. And sometimes if you're enrolling it for the first time, you might notice the background doesn't change. It takes a bit time. So with AirWatch, it takes a bit time to have the iPad switched over. So right now, I want to show you that the two apps we're talking about is called Agent and Catalog. You can see the Agent app is there and the Catalog app is there. Agent app allows the device to communicate with the AirWatch environment, and it is actually a very essential app. If something's wrong going on with your iPad, the first thing we look at this is this Agent app. And the Catalog app essentially has a list of all your apps that you want to have on demand. So you don't want to have them right now, but it leaves them on the catalog. So if I go in here, if I have any apps that I want to have in case if I want to download it in future, I can just go in Catalog and install it. Right now I do not have it at the moment, so I'll show you later on how it looks if it is on Catalog. Okay, so when I said that the device, once it's on AirWatch, there are some restrictions that are enabled. So if you go into settings, so say this iPad is currently with the student and they want to place a passcode on it. And you can see here the option to place a passcode is gone. It's not here, it's hidden. So what AirWatch essentially does is it actually restricts those features where it will be hidden from them. And the option to go into iTunes and App Store is here, but they will actually not be able to sign in. this part is grayed out. And the reason we did that because we do not want the students to put in their personal Apple ID. What it does, it really associates this device with their Apple ID. So we restricted it. Now, say a teacher is using this device, any teacher, and they want to have access to this passcode as well as App Store, they can. So it doesn't have to be an EMM administrator as long that they are a teacher. It will not take in students' login. So you can go into the agent app, and suppose you're not an EMM administrator, meaning an AirWatch administrator, you're just any teacher, you're going to log into the agent app. And the moment you log into the agent app, it will hide those restrictions. It will open up the normal features of an iPad. So I'm going to type in my employee number. It's just your 6-digit employee number. I'm just going to disconnect it because it actually shows the password. So I'm just going to disconnect it for a minute. Should take me about 2 minutes, just 1 second. Okay, so I just signed in to my agent app, and you can see it's asking me whether I would like agent to send notification. You'll get this notification. Please keep in mind you want to press allow, because what it does is that when you are pushing out an app, or if you want the device to communicate with your AirWatch environment, you want to enable this option. Usually it will come up when you enroll the device for the first time. So I recently wiped this device. That's why it's saying this. So you don't worry about whether having to go back in and doing this all the time. You'll just have to do it once when you're enrolling the device. So you can see that I'm logged in. Now it's important that you wait for the screen to come up. This means you are successfully logged in. So once you're logged in, you want to hide it. And then now I'll show you the App Store is right there. So when I was not signed into agent, the App Store wasn't there. And right now, if I go into settings, you can see the passcode option should be right here. So see the passcode option right here. So if I click on it, I can turn on the passcode. So if a teacher wants to turn on that passcode on, they're taking this iPad or they like to have a passcode on the device, they could use this option. Now if you have multiple devices that you want to have the passcode on, to go through all these devices takes a bit time. You can request it through help desk and we will push out a policy for you. And also you can go into iTunes and App Store and you can put in your Apple ID. Right now you can see it's not grayed out anymore. So this is what actually, once you sign into the agent app, this is what it does. It hides the security features, like it disables the restriction. So if I go into agent right now, and keep in mind this is very important, always log out of agent. So any teacher can sign into agent. So if they sign in and they forget to sign out and they hand the device to a student, they can go in and they can still put the passcode on. So it's important to log out of this. So I'm going to click log out and it will say, you sure you want to log out? I'm going to hit yes, because we want the restriction to be put back on. Okay, so now that I'm logged out, you can see the App Store is, the App Store, it takes a bit time, but it should quickly go away. It takes a bit time, but it doesn't really do anything. So if I go into settings right now, you will see it takes a bit time, but see the passcode option is gone and the iTunes and App Store is also missing. And you can see the App Store is gone as well. So it takes a bit time to sync, but the restriction is there right now. I do not have to worry about it. Okay, so now this covers the device part. I'm going to switch back to the presentation. We're going to cover in detail about the console. So how do you log in? So you can log in practically from anywhere on the web, not just within TDSP. So if you're at home and you need to look at a specific iPad, you can log in from your home as well. There's no browser limitation. You can use Chrome, Firefox, or Internet Explorer, whichever you like. And the username format is TDSP / your employee number. So this / is right above your enter key. And the password is your TDSP network password. Also keep in mind, if this is your first time logging into this AirWatch environment, you will be asked to create a 4-digit PIN. What this PIN does is, the reason you need to create this PIN just to perform a couple of administrative tasks like wiping a device from the AirWatch console. It will ask you for that PIN. So without any delay, let's start. So this is the link. It's really tough to read it out, but it's https://cn239.awmdm.com. So once I go into this link, this page should open up right here. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. Now this TDSB, you can write it in capital or small letter, it does not matter. You're going to put in your 6-digit TDSB employee number and then your TDSB network password. Now it does not ask me to create a PIN, and the reason is because this is not my first time logging in. If this is my first time logging in, it will ask me for a PIN. How would it look if it does ask you for a PIN? I'll show you. So after you create the PIN, it's going to ask you to accept the terms of agreement, and you're going to scroll and you're going to click agree, and then it's going to ask you for the 4-digit PIN. So the security PIN, it's 4-digit, no alphabet, just numbers, and you're going to confirm it. If you forget your PIN, you can actually reset it from the console. I will show you where you can do it. So if you go into the AirWatch environment, if you hover over here and you click on Manage Account Settings, and if you go into security, you can click reset. I'm not going to reset it because I know mine, but if you click reset, it's going to log you off, put you back to the main initial login screen, and you can simply log in through that again, and it's going to ask you to create the PIN. Okay, so now this is how your environment should look when you're logging in for the first time. I'm just going to switch my environment to the test school environment that I have for the AirWatch. So if you come in and you have device enrolled on your AirWatch environment, this is how it's exactly going to look. So right now I have 21 devices enrolled. That's why it says total deployment 21. It's basically a graphical overview of your environment. It shows how many devices is compromised, how many has passcode on it, and how many has not been seen in last 8 hours. So what it really means is that how many of your devices has not really communicated with the AirWatch environment. So 8 hours, I wouldn't worry about it. If it's greater than 31 days, then you have to worry about it. What it means is that either the device is lost or it's not connecting to the network. So you might want to look at those devices. You want to pick them up and then make sure if you can turn them off, turn them back on, and just make sure they are connected to the Wi-Fi, WLAN, TDSP. And that's basically it. It actually also shows you the operating system breakdown. So what it means is that how many of your device has the latest iOS. So 10.3 is the latest one. So it has a breakdown of how many of my iPads are on the old system, how many are not. So if you can actually go into the older one and upgrade them, if it can take the upgrade, you can do it from here. So on the left corner, you can see devices, apps, and books, and groups and setting. We'll cover all that. So first up, we're going to go into list view. So what the list view does is actually shows you list of all your iPads in a list manner. So if I click on here, it will show you the list of your iPads. Sorry, it takes a bit time with AirWatch. Okay, so you can see here it shows me the last scene, which iPad I saw 4 minutes ago, what is the general information. So this is a UDID number. It doesn't really make sense. I will show you how to provide a friendly name to your iPad. It really helps you organize your iPad, and if you know it's a specific iPad and you want a specific app on it, it actually really helps you. So once you enroll your device, I will strongly recommend you to come into this environment and provide a name as you go along with the enrollment. Then, it's easier for you to organize. And platform, it tells me it's Apple iOS, what's the iOS version on it, The user part you really don't have to worry about. Okay, so I'm gonna go in here because this is the iPad that I have right now. So once I'm in here, actually, there's a quicker way. So first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna provide a friendly name to your iPad, and you can do it from the list view environment. So I'm gonna go in here, I'm gonna click on this pencil icon right here, and it's gonna bring up the name here for me, friendly name. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna change it to Webinar iPad 1, and you want to check this option off because what it says, set friendly name as device name, I want the same name to be applied on my iPad as well. So I'm going to click this option and I'm going to click save, and I'm going to switch back to my iPad to show you that the name also reflects on my iPad. Keep in mind, sometimes it can take a bit time, and it's mainly because of network connection. Okay, so to check the name, I'm going to go to settings and about there. You can see it's Webinar iPad 1. So how it helps me is that I might have 50 iPads in front of me, but having this tells me that my iPad, okay, so having this tells me that my iPad name is Webinar iPad. It really helps me to really organize it. So as you go along with the enrollment part, you want to say that this is my iPad, this belongs to, if you have a music room, these are music room iPad, kindergarten, this class iPad. Okay, now that we have named our device, we're going to go into the details view. What details view is that? Say you want to look at one specific iPad. You are dealing with it, and you need to see what's going on with this iPad. So right now I'm going to go into this iPad that I'm working with. So it tells me this device is not compromised, and it's enrolled, last seen 1 minute ago because I just touched it. And it tells me how many apps does it have. Right now I only have one app, which is the agent app. If I put multiple apps to it, the number will be reflected here. It has other crucial information here on the right corner where it says device information. The organizational group, actually right now it shows test school 9991. That's my school. It should also show your school name. And the smart group, I will cover this later on. If you organize your iPads according to a group, say you want grade 3 to have specific apps, then you create a group called grade 3 iPads. And then once you put it on that container, which is called the smart group, it will actually reflect it here. And it also has the serial number. So suppose you have a friendly name, which right here, Webinar iPad 1, but you also want to know the serial name of it, you can find it here. And it shows you the battery of it and the storage of it. So these are actually really crucial information. Now the available iOS update, it says 9.2.1. Do not worry about here because you can see here 10.3.1 is the latest, and I have it. It reflects at the top. Okay, so in details view, you can actually perform a lot of administrative tasks. So when we say, you can manage your iPads using the AirWatch, this is what we mean. So this more action tab, if you click on here, you can actually clear passcodes. So suppose a teacher forgot to sign out of the agent app and somehow a student put in a passcode on it. You can actually clear the passcode from this device by clicking on device, and it will say, are you sure you wish to continue? And you're going to click OK. And voila. It should be done. Right now I do not have a passcode on my device, but if I had one, it would have cleared it off. So you can wipe your device also through here. So suppose there's something going on in your iPad, you do not know what's going on, you want to do a fresh enrollment on it, you want to enroll it on AirWatch again, or somehow someone put a passcode and you cannot get past it, you can do the device wipe through it. So if I click on device wipe, it's going to ask me for that 4-digit PIN that I told you about. So for the first time when you're logging in, it's going to ask you to create a PIN. So you'll have to enter the security PIN. So that security PIN, it is only associated with your account. You do not need to share it with anybody. So once you put that in, your iPad will go through the device wipe. Okay, And another cool feature that I wanted to show you is enable lost mode. Now, location services is not enabled on this iPad due to security reason, and TDSB has a policy we do not want to enable the location services. Now, suppose there's this iPad that's lost within the school, and you want to put a specific message on it because you want the iPad back. You can use this feature called enable lost mode to get the iPad back. So suppose my iPad is right now lost, and right now my iPad is connected. Actually, let me show you. Sorry. I'm just going to connect my iPad to show you what changes it does. Okay. So right now, my iPad looks absolutely normal. The moment I turn on this enable lost mode, you will see what happens. I'm going to say, lost iPad, please return to Israth. And you can put your phone number if you like, and then you can send it. So what will happen, I'm going to connect to my iPad, and I'm going to try to play around with it. See, well, it's lost. So what it does is that I cannot do anything with it. Right now I'm touching the home button. I am pressing on it. It's not doing anything. So the moment you actually enable the lost mode, and what will happen is that your device is beyond usable, meaning no one can go into it, use it, or basically install app on it. So say the student now or the teacher who had the iPad bought it to you, and you want to deactivate this lost mode, you can also do that. To do that, you go into more action. Actually, you actually have to refresh the page. So I'm going to go ahead and refresh my page right now. So you're going to go into more action, and you can disable the lost mode. So you see how it had enable lost mode. Now it changed to disable lost mode. You're going to click on this, and it says lost mode disabled successfully. I'm going to click OK, and hopefully my iPad is connected. So there you go. It says iPad located. The location of this iPad was sent to Toronto District School Board. So now the iPad is located. You're going to hit continue, and again, your iPad is good to go. So this feature is really good. If it's within the school, within the same network, or then you can enable the lost mode to it. So what other feature do we have here? So you know how we changed our device name to a friendly name? You can also do it from here. It allows you to do edit device. So edit device is essentially same thing as changing the iPad name. So you can do it from here, but I find it easier to do it using the pen and doing it from here. So now that we have named our device, what we're going to do, we're going to actually go into Smart Group, because now we have named our device. We want to group them. We want to put them in a container. To put them in a container, you actually need to go to Groups and Settings. So I'm going to go to Groups and Settings, and then click on Groups, Assignment Groups. So when you are in here, you want to create a smart group. You're going to click Add Smart Group. So once you are in the Create New Smart Group window, you're going to click Select Device or User, because we want to add it according to the device. Now, remember how we created a friendly name? Here is why it's so important. So say if I didn't have a friendly name, it would come with that number. If you have 50 iPads, how are you going to find out through those crazy serial numbers? So say if I'm going to look for the webinar one that I just created. See, I have iPad. How do I know which one is what, right? So I'm going to select webinar iPad 1, and I'm going to click Add. And it's going to add the webinar. Now I'm going to name it. So in my scenario, the best situation is webinar, and I'm going to say 27/04/17, today's day. Now in your case, you might have like I said, grade 3, and they use specific set of iPads. They get specific set of apps. You just provide that name that really applies for them, and simply click Save. Say in future you want to add more devices to this group you created. All you have to do is click on this. You go in here. You can add multiple devices to this. I can click CSD iPad 4, hit Add, and then I can add this iPad, that iPad, as many as I like. Now, say you want to remove them. How do I go about removing them? I don't want this iPads anymore on this group. You uncheck this button. That's it. I want to just have 2 iPads. And I'm going to click Save. So it's pretty cool. Like, I mean, it helps you organize your iPad. If you have a specific cart number 4, cart number 3, and you want to put them according to the cart, you can go ahead and do that. And actually, it tells you. So here you can see that how many devices I have here. It says device number 2. So according to your cart device number, if it matches here, then you can come and then run inventory check here. So now that we have created a smart group, we want to cover this section, apps and books. So once I go to apps and books section, it basically shows, we want to see what are the apps available for my environment. Now, I want to highlight one thing. If you have done the self-enrollment or IT assisted, you should get an app request form. If you have filled up the form, your apps will appear on this environment. In future, if you want to request more app, there is a link posted for apps underneath the YouTube video. For free apps or for paid apps, you have to fill up that form. Once you submit that form, you should get an email confirming that we received this request. It takes up to 10 business days for us to add the apps. It's actually teaching and learning department who does that, and you're going to get an email the moment they process this request. So this is the app that I'm request form that I'm talking about. So here you come in and you will fill in your first name, last name, and then what's your role, your email address, whether you're school or central department, and then if you need both type of app, you can select both, and it's asking whether you're using mobile device management. You're going to select yes. Now keep in mind, whenever you are searching, whenever you are requesting an app, you have to click on this link here and you have to search for that app, because we go by a volume purchase program. So here you're going to say, I want to add Google Slide. I'm going to type in slide and it's going to bring up Google Slide. I'm going to click here. You have to click in this URL. You have to copy it. I'm going to copy this URL. I'm going to go into here and I'm going to say, sorry, I have to select free. And it opened up a field for me. It says, what is the app name? You're going to put in, it's called Google Slide. And you need to paste the URL here, because what it does is for free apps, we get 500 copies, and for paid apps, we get the copy that you request. So if you have 70 device and you want 70 license, we'll get 70 license. And it's basically has a discount process to it. So that's why we use this format. So once you submit this and you get the confirmation that app has been added, you want to come in to the AirWatch environment right here. And first thing you're going to do is you're going to type in your school Trillium number. Once you come into this environment, you will see this unknown, unknown, unknown. Keep in mind, this does not apply to your school. This applies to entire TDSB. To see what apps are that specifically on your environment, you want to type in the Trillium number. So my Trillium number here is 9991. Also, this number is reflected at the top left corner. So see where it says Test School 991. For your school, it will also show your number. And then I'm going to hit enter. Okay, so right now it says test school. This is my school name. This is my Trillium number. The moment you see your school name, Trillium number, you know you're in the correct window. Suppose that you got the confirmation email saying your app has been added. What you're going to do is, but you do not see it here. Now this part right here, sync asset, is your best friend, because what you're going to do, you're going to press it here. It's going to force the AirWatch environment to communicate with Apple to update this list. I have often seen we get calls and the teacher will say, I do not see the app, and that's absolutely okay. This tab is really important. Once you do that, it actually updates this list. Now, I do not have Google Slide because I did not submit that request. I just used it as an example. So these are my list of apps. I'm going to go in here and say, so you can see here 500 license for free apps. So I'm going to push out, say, Google Sheet to my iPad, to my smart group, sorry. So I'm going to click on here. It says edit assignment. You're going to click here. And actually, there is one key part I wanted to show you. if this is the first time you're pushing out an app, so say it's a brand new app you got and you want to push it out, there is actually a key part. Let me just search through it which one it has. I wanted to show it to you, sorry. Looks like we we used it all for our webinars. Let me see if Seesaw has it. No. Sorry, I'm just going through the list. Okay, found it. So I'm going to use Google Docs. So see where it says enable device assignment? This is what I wanted to show you. If this is your first time pushing out this app, you're going to get this where it says enable device assignment. This is so important. The reason is because once you enable this, it tells the device, my apps are managed by AirWatch. Do not use App Store. So remember how we were saying with AirWatch you no longer need Apple ID. So once you enable this, your iPad knows I'm part of AirWatch. Get my request from AirWatch. Do not ask me for Apple ID. You want to click on here and you want to enable it. I'm not going to do it because I have other webinar to perform, so I want to use this as an example. So this is what you will see, and make sure to always select that. So I'm going to use Google Sheet as an example. So because I already enabled it for Google Sheets, that's why you do not see it here. Now it says, so I'm going to do a fresh copy. I'm going to remove the smart group I have here. So this is the window you should have. Under assignments, remember, you can only push out apps using smart group. You cannot push out apps to one iPad. You can only push out apps using smart group. So I'm going to click create new smart group. Oh, sorry, not create new smart group. I already have created it. So I'm going to do add assignment by license code by smart group. So if you have already created a smart group, you want to go to license code by smart group. Once I select that, it's going to say which smart group do you want. So I'm going to select the one called webinar, today's date. Once I select that, it tells me how many devices I have. This allocated part is very important. So suppose you have 70 devices. For free apps, I recommend allocating as much as possible because you might want to include more iPads to that smart group. You have more iPads adding to your grade 3 class. So I always say put in twice the amount. So if you have 10 devices, you want to put in 20. So in future, you don't have to keep coming back and forth. So say I have 2 devices, I'm going to put 4 because in future I might decide to add 2 more devices to it. But if it's a paid, always keep the number consistent because that's the amount of license you paid for. So you can see here on the left corner it says total license 500, unallocated 49, allocated 1. I have used it previously but I haven't refreshed the page, so it's not showing me the accurate number. So once you have allocated the number of iPads you want the apps to be on, so what you're going to do is you're going to keep the assignment type to auto. So what it does is it will automatically push it out to your iPads. It has 2 options. So remember how I was talking at the beginning of the webinar about catalog app. So say you do not want it to go on the iPad, you just want it to be available. So if a teacher wants, they can install it. So on demand, what it does, it makes this app available on catalog. So if I make it available on demand, then the teacher can go into the catalog app and just simply install it from the catalog. But I'm going to choose the option called auto because this is the most popular. And I'm going to say remove on unenroll, meaning if this device for some reason is not part of the school anymore or gets wiped, take the app out. Keep that license number on the environment so that if I add another iPad, that iPad can have it. Basically, that's about it. So make sure assignment type is auto, remove on unenroll, and just hit save. Now, it takes a bit time for this app to go into the iPad. Again, these are all being done on the Wi-Fi, so it takes a bit time, but be patient, it shouldn't take that long. So I'm going to refresh my page to see if the number gets reflected. So it brought me back to the initial page. I'm going to type in my school Trillium number again. Okay, So if I go down right now, you can see right here for Google Sheets, it's showing 2. So out of 500 devices, I allocated 2. So, in future, you want to know how many devices got it. You can come in here. I also want to show you another trick. That is, after I show you whether the iPad got the app or not, I'm just going to quickly connect to my iPad just to see if it got it. It hasn't got that app yet. It's going to take a bit time by the look of it, because it is on a Wi-Fi. Oh, okay. So I want to show you that I chose the option on demand. What happens if I choose the option on demand? How will the app appear? So say if I go in here and I chose the option on demand and click save, this app will only be available on the catalog, not on the iPad itself, on the catalog. So if I want, I can just go in and install it on the iPad. So I'm gonna connect my iPad right now to show you. Okay, so if I go into catalog, you'll see the Google Sheet is there. So I'm gonna hit install, and I'm gonna say install. It's processing it. So once this is done, it will process it and it will add the app. So you can see it's loading right here. So these are two options. You can push it out auto. You will not need to go to catalog to install it. It will do it automatically on its own depending on the Wi-Fi connection. And suppose you just want it to be there on the catalog. If a teacher wants it, it's their option. They can have it. They can go into catalog and do it. Okay. Without further ado, so let me now show you another cool thing. You can actually push out web clips. So suppose there is a virtual library page that your student likes to access, or a grade 3 has a math website where they go in. It's an interactive page, and you wanna give them a quick access to it. You can go into web section right here, and you can click on add application. So make sure you don't really have to touch anything right here. Make sure the organization group ID should say your school name and your Trillium number, and you want to select your platform is Apple iOS because it's an iPad, and you're going to click continue. Okay, so I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call it app request form, and the URL, I'm going to copy it from here, and I'm going to place it on my AirWatch environment. And I really don't need to put a description. So for images, now you want to have an image for it. So say I'm gonna do an app request form image. So if I Google it, I'm just gonna use this just as an example. I'm gonna click save image as. Place it on my desktop. Okay, so now that I got the image, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here. I can click or drag the file here. So I'm going to click it and just point it to it. So it's right here. And assignment type, here is the part. Where do you want it? So in AirWatch, if you want to do anything with your iPad, it starts and ends with Smart Group. So assigned group is the group you want to assign it to. I'm going to assign it to my webinar. If I can find it. Okay, it's right here. Now what it says exclusion, you want to set it to no, and push mode, you want to say it to auto. I don't want it on demand. I want it automatically on my iPad. You want to expand the advanced feature. Removable, you want to set it to no. What it means is that, you know how on iPad if you hold on an app and it shakes, it has a cross beside it, you don't want the student to remove it, basically. So you can set it here saying no. Say if you want people to have the option to remove it, you can click yes. Say they don't want it on the iPad. And full screen, no. You want to select it to no. And all you really have to do is save and publish. And it will show you how many devices got it. And I'm going to click publish. And it should appear on my iPad. So let's see. Again. So you can see the sheet app is there. So it takes a bit. Oh, there it is. So right here, app request form. If I click on it, it will take me to the app request form. So it's pretty cool in terms of, say, if there is a frequent app or frequent page they like to access, they can click on it and simply go from it. I also wanted to show you one more thing. if you notice that you pushed out an app and some of your device got it and some of your device did not get it, how do you troubleshoot it? So first thing you want to do, come back to apps and books again, list view, type in your school Trillium number. Once you're in here, so now say, you know, one of my device did not get it. I want to see which one didn't get it. We actually have a really handy tool right here. It's this one right here, the triangle. If you click on it and if you click on publish, what it does, it brings up the window that tells you how many device got it, how many device did not get it. So see, it says pending install removed. Now the reason I really like this is because I do not have the time to go into each device to look at it. I want them to install again. So you can come in here, you can click on them and you can say install unselected, and you can click OK. You can also remove it doing the same thing. So yes, the details view shows you a detailed overview of what is there, what is not there, but this app tab with the preview, the publish button, what it does is it actually shows you what app is there, sorry, which device got it, which device did not get it. And you can come in here, expand it and select it, and voila, push it out again. So with AirWatch, because it's a new system, it does take a bit time. So I'm gonna hit publish. You don't really need to wait for it to load anything. If you click publish and then just close the window, it should automatically there. It's still spinning the cycle. I notice it takes about 5 minutes for it to get pushed again. Another thing I wanted to say is that if your device is acting really funny, you know, it's not getting an app or it's showing compromised and you're not sure what's going on, what you want to do is you want to make sure you have the latest version of Agent app on your device. So what I usually do is I go into device, I go into list view, and say the webinar app, that the webinar iPad that I'm using right now, which is this one, it's acting really funny and I want to see what is going on with this device. And I'm gonna go in here with the details view, and you can, oh by the way, you can also search your device by coming in here. So if I type in CSD iPad 4, actually this is not the one, I'm actually using a wrong one. The reason it shows the 44 seconds ago, because remember we just pushed out the app to it. So I'm gonna go to the webinar iPad one and say it says right now it says device is not compromised, but say it says compromised. What you're gonna do is you can come into apps tab here and you can put a fresh installed of Agent app, and it really helps, because what I notice often, if the Agent app version, this version right here, is not the latest, for some reason iPad doesn't really communicate with your iPad, or it's really slow. So what you can do, you can click on the install tab, it will say you wish to continue. It will force the iPad to communicate with AirWatch and it'll put a fresh version of Agent. And then once you have done that, you will see the Agent is circling and you can actually wait for it to end. And once it actually ends, what you can do then, you can turn off the device, turn it back on. Usually it then resolves the issue. But if you have any problem, you can always call help desk and we'll be happy to assist you. So this is what includes in our AirWatch webinar. Now we're gonna look at if there's any question or any concern that you're having on the chat that we can assist you with. So let me just check if there is any question that I can address. Okay, so I just came through the chat with my colleague and he was just saying pretty much all of them has been addressed. If there's anything, keep them coming, we'll answer them as we go. I just wanted to also mention one more thing. This is our support page, the ServiceIT MDM page. It's really helpful, guys. So if you have chosen the method of self-enrollment, you can go in here and enroll your device. We also have our previous AirWatch webinar. Also this one, the webinar that I'm conducting right now, this will also be posted over there. the moment it's done. And this is our contact information. In case if you are having a difficulty, you can call us at the help desk. And we have also posted this link under the YouTube video. I just wanted to show you. This is the MDM site. We have posted the app request form, so you don't really have to remember it. Once you come in here to ServiceIT, you can click on the app request form to put in your request for paid app or for free app. Here you have some frequently asked questions. I find them personally really helpful because these are the frequently asked questions that we get. So you can actually see some of the answers that we have posted. And training materials. So this is where you want to go if you want to enroll your iPad. So say you chose the method of IT assisted. Now you got a couple of brand new iPads. You want to enroll them. So you can actually come in here. You can click on new iPad setup. It has the video along with the PDF page. So if you open it up, it will download it, and you can just go through the enrollment. It actually has the cool part is it has the pictures. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. If there is anything that you see that you'd like us to add, let us know. We can make that adjustment. And yeah, it has AirWatch console parts. So some of the topics that I covered today, how to log in, how to check device information, how to create a smart group, how to deploy apps and contents, how to remove an app. Oh, actually, let me show you the remove an app part. So say I want to remove the app that I pushed out. So if I go into my apps and books and I go to list view, and if I type in the school trillium number again, sorry, don't know what it did, but so say I want to remove the Google Sheet that I just pushed out. I no longer want it on those devices that I pushed out. It's really simple. You go into the Google Sheet again, and you just take out that smart group. So I'm going to take off this smart group right here, and I'm going to click OK. And so you can see right now it's 0. And I'm going to click Save. I'm going to refresh the page to see if it reflects the number. Sometimes it takes a bit time. Okay, so let's see if it reflects it. Yep, so right now you can see it's 0. So you can remove the app that way. And also our MDM site page talks about self-service app installation. So you can request the app installation on your own using the AirWatch environment. If you're not comfortable, do know that we have the option. So say you got the app you wanted, and now they sent you an email saying it has been done, but you're not comfortable doing it on your own. What you can do, you can log a ticket with us and we'll push it out for you. There is a question on the chat. Let me see. Once I request an app, how long does it take it before I get the email that it has been on the app request form? It says that it takes about 10 business days. For some reason, if it does not get added and you do not get a confirmation email within the 10 business days, you can contact the teaching and learning at apprequest@tdsb.on.ca. It's posted on the app request form. The reason it's not sent to us, it is solely done by teaching and learning department. And miscellaneous also includes how to check out of agent, check in, and how to reset your iPad. So that's basically it.
Stick around for 5 more minutes.
Yeah. We're going to stick around for 5 more minutes just to see if we get any more questions. Going one, going twice. This is the last call. If you have any question, send it this way and we'll try to answer it for you. Yes. So if you want to request a free app or a paid app, you have to submit it through the app request form, which is right here. And you can actually bookmark it, or you can go to our ServiceIT page. So it's right here. I'm gonna go one step back. So it's posted right here, the app request form. Yes, this is what I explained. I think it's at the beginning of the video. I also mentioned when I was covering the app request part, is that you have to submit. If it's a new app, you have to submit it through app request form. Anything that you have prior to AirWatch, like any purchased app that you purchased using your Apple ID prior to AirWatch, should already be migrated to your AirWatch environment under Smart Groups and Setting.
Let me see what's going to say there. Maybe just clarify also that the submission of the app request form doesn't push it out to your iPads, but it just puts it in there.
Yeah, so once you actually submit this app request form, it does not push it out to your iPad. You get the confirmation email. The moment you get the confirmation email, you come in here under apps and books, you go into list view, and then you type in your school trillium number. Then I'm going to type in my school trillium number again, and then this is where you'll see the app. So that app request form makes it available on this window. And then from this window, you push it out to your iPad. If you're not comfortable doing it, you can request it to us, and then we'll push it out for you. Okay, we're gonna wait 1 more minute for a question. If there is anything, let us know. If not, thank you for watching the webinar. You can watch it again if you like. Once this webinar is done, this should be posted. No problem. Thank you, Mrs. Silver. Oh, Miss Silver, sorry. All right, we're gonna wrap up the webinar. Thank you so much for attending. And once again, our support links are posted under the YouTube video. If you have any question, feel free to call us at the Enterprise Help Desk, and you can ask for Brandon or Israt. All right, take care, guys. Have a wonderful afternoon.